Hey, this is Drew with Make It Better, and today we're going to try out a new waterproof hiker from Xero shoes called the Ridgeway. So I've got kind of an overcast day, got a few raindrops falling on me, got the shoes on. So we'll see how they hold up. We'll see if the rain picks up here. We'll see if we can get some moisture on these and test out how waterproof they actually are. I'm really optimistic about it. I have several pairs of hiking boots from Xero shoes, and none of them have water resistance. And for me, that's been my number one desire in a hiking boot from Xero shoes, is that it's water resistant. These claim to be water resistant. I'm really hoping that they kind of meet that expectation and they hold up against the elements. So let's see what happens with this hike. See if I can find something a bit more wetter to walk into, and we'll hopefully have a great review on some new waterproof hiking boots from Xero shoes. Looks like the rain's not going to come down like I want it to. That stretch of trail that can be wet sometimes was not wet. So the shoes have a bit of moisture on them still, you can see. I think we're going to have to bring them home and give them like a real test though. So overall, they've performed very well. They're what you'd expect them to be. Very lightweight, very comfortable. There's really no break-in time to them. There's some reasonable protection on them. I'll go over all the details a bit more thoroughly a bit later. But overall, I'm very satisfied with the shoes. I just want to really see how waterproof they are. So let's figure that out, and then I'm gonna break everything down, tell you my thoughts on them, who I think they'd be good for, if I'd recommend them, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty. Got an idea. Let's see if they're waterproof. Okay, so you just saw my very scientific method to tell if they're waterproof. I can say right off the bat, I don't feel any moisture inside of the shoes, but I'm going to walk around for a little bit and see if that changes. So the majority of waterproof shoes are built with a thin membrane that allows for moisture and air to escape from the foot out into the environment, but it stops moisture from coming into the shoe. I can tell you from using other Xero shoes, if I would have done what I just did with the water there on the non-waterproof shoes, immediately I would have felt drenched and damp. So I sprayed them down. I've been walking with them for a few minutes just as I've been chatting. I haven't felt any moisture move into the interior of the shoe. It's still on the outside, which is a really good sign. So over time, it could continue to seep in, eventually saturate your foot. But that's one of those things where like time would tell. I intentionally wore cotton socks today to test these out because cotton is terrible for moisture. So if you do get moisture inside of your shoe, you're gonna feel it right away. It's gonna become cold and uncomfortable. I typically would use like a lightweight merino wool sock with any of my hiking, but especially in water, like, you know, wet environments. But from what I can tell, these shoes are waterproof. So good job, Xero shoes. I'm super grateful you made a waterproof hiker, and I got to test it out. There may be other varieties of them out there, but this is the only one that I've tried, and I'm very satisfied with the results as far as the waterproof technology they're using. So let's get these things home and let's talk about everything that I've liked about them, any ideas or thoughts I've got, feedback for improving them in the future. I'm really impressed with the waterproofing technology that they use. They've got the proprietary Xero waterproof patent, I'm sure, for it, which I would believe would be waterproof seams and likely a waterproof breathable membrane that allows moisture to escape but keeps, or allows warmth, air, moisture to escape from inside but stops precipitation and water from coming inside. So whatever they're using works well. You can see the lugs of this, not super aggressive, but there's still some nice bite. So these are going to be comfortable in a wide range of applications. It's not going to feel uncomfortable to walk on paved surfaces with these because of the way that the lugs are set up with those exterior lugs as well as the interiors, but these are going to help you contour your foot around scree and loose gravel. There are ankle supports, so you can see it. This goes high quite a bit. It's a very kind of retro design, which looks super cool. I was getting compliments from these as soon as I put them on. So style points are high up there. You can see you've got the nice, smells like real leather wrapping around in the areas where they're going to be prone to the most scuffing and damage. And yet this kind of middle area has a woven fabric material that's does a good job, as well as doing some abrasion resistance and gives you some comfort. The laces that come standard on it are just fine. You can see that there's a hook at the bottom, so you can hook up some gaiters or other accessories to that. My one criticism on the design would be these top eyelets here. Xero decided to do a closed style fastener as opposed to like an eye hook eyelet where you can kind of wrap around on the outside. So these, you'll have to pull the lace through it, which for me kind of slows down the process of taking them on, or taking them off and putting them on. That's my one kind of technical recommendation for future ones, would be to have those open clasp style eyelets on the top. I just think those work great for hikers in general. They do have that on other styles that they've got, like the Scrambler Mid has that style, so I don't know why they decided to change it up with this. I think future versions of these you might see some changes. There's also, on the back, you've got a loop here to help pull them on, make them nice and tight. There is a foam cushion bottom to this. So if you compare these to other barefoot style shoes, you will notice they aren't quite as sensitive to the ground. They don't have quite the same amount of contour as your foot's walking over surfaces and rocks, which can be a good thing. But if you're looking for that real sensitivity to the earth, this doesn't have the same that you might get from something that has a more low profile sole. I think the reason behind that is this is going to give you endurance to walk over great distances, potentially carry some weight on your back in a backpack. And this is just a bit more of an intense hiking boot compared to something that you might use for casually walking around or for a shorter trip where you're maybe not carrying as much and you don't need to have as much protection and support around your ankle. I've been wanting a waterproof hiking boot from Xero shoes for years now, and super happy with this option from Xero shoes. Really loving it. So yeah, the men's Ridgeway. I'm going to be using these all the time. I'm excited to see just how far I can push them. I'm delighted that they're waterproof, and I'm expecting to see really good things in their performance. And of course, like all the shoes from Xero shoes, there's that guarantee on the sole as well, so you can really hike these things hardcore. If there's any issue with the sole, you're going to contact Xero shoes and they're going to help you out with that and make things better. But good job to Xero shoes. Loving the design, loving what you've done with this version, and excited for more good stuff like this coming out. In previous videos, I've also suggested having like a white accent along with a brown as a good color combination. I don't know if you were listening to me, but I'm glad you did it because it looks super cool. So I will say also, Xero shoes did send me these Ridgeways in exchange for an honest feedback, honest review, and that is exactly what you're getting. So really loving these. Good job, Xero shoes. And if you're in the market for a barefoot style hiker that needs a bit more protection and that you're going to expect to bring you through the elements, this is definitely a top pick from me. All right, well, thanks for checking this out. If you like what you see, feel free to click the link below. It can bring you to the Xero shoes site, and you can check these out for yourself and see what other great options Xero shoes is currently carrying. All right, well, you be well, and hopefully this review helps you make a good decision if these are the right shoes for you.